Hello and welcome to Only Connect, the best Only show since Only When I Laugh and Only Fools and Horses. Unfortunately, there won't be any laughter and there won't be any horses. But let's meet the teams. On my right, Brian Pendrich, a freelance journalist who enjoys racket sports and is a keen collector of bubblegum cards. Chris Brewis, a former Scrabble champion and member of the Durham Wildlife Trust, who once came second in a Rab C. Nesbitt lookalike competition. And their captain, Dave Taylor, a retired transport manager who enjoys solving cryptic crosswords and listening to Sibelius symphonies. United by their love of creative writing, they are the Wordsmiths. So you've presumably got literature covered. What about the other quizzing areas?
Well, we have two mathematicians, or we think we're mathematicians anyhow. And music, as long as it's anything before 1970, then we're definitely covered.
Fair enough. Your opposition are, on my left, Matt Finch, a science teacher and aspiring linguist who is learning to speak German and French. Michelle Laroche, a modern languages teacher, that's handy, and former banker who enjoys Far Eastern fiction and collects memorabilia from music festivals. And their captain, Jay Laroche, a science teacher and former analytical chemist who has a degree in marine biology and a passion for Agatha Christie. They're all secondary school teachers from Essex. They are the educators. So you're used to running a classroom with a rod of iron. Will that be useful as a quiz captain?
Hopefully I can keep these two in check. Sister-in-law, so I'm used to keeping tabs on her, and he worked with Matt for a couple of years, so yeah, I'm pretty certain I can keep them where I need them.
Let's get on with round one. Teams, I simply want to know what's the connection between four apparently random clues. If you can tell me after seeing fewer than 4 clues, you'll get more points. Educators, you won the toss and the right to go first, so please choose your Egyptian hieroglyph.
Can we have Eye of Horus, please?
You absolutely can and may. These are going to be picture clues. What's the connection? First one coming up now.
Next. Next, please. Oh, no idea. Next. I've no idea. What's that region between Romania and
It's a
Ukraine?
discreet for ballerina, though, wasn't it?
Pavlova was a ballerina, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Should we go for next?
Yeah.
Next, please.
Konikova.
Are all...
Something that come from that place.
5 seconds.
Do they all share the name with ballerinas?
No, they're not.
They're all Russian? Anna Kournikova's Russian?
I'm just thinking, no, I'm afraid they are not all Russian. Some of them maybe, but all of them, no. So it's a bonus chance for the Wordsmiths.
They all end over.
They all end in over. What are we looking at?
Terra Nova.
That's Scott's ship from the Antarctic expedition.
Moldova.
Moldova, the Eastern European country.
Pavlova. And Sharapova.
Ooh, you fell at the last. It's Anna Kournikova.
All right.
They all end in OVA, so you get a bonus point. Time to choose your own question.
Horned Viper, please.
Horned Viper slithering forth. First clue coming up now.
Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Liz Taylor, Richard Burton, One Moscow, Robert Oldby. Next.
Next, please.
Griffith Riley.
Are they all written by the same person? Edward Oldby.
Possibly. It's a bit obscure, that one.
Next, please.
Abigail's Party.
That's Mike Wee.
Oldby.
They all feature university lecturers, maybe?
They're all at parties.
Next.
10 seconds.
Next, please.
Waiting for Godot.
Oh, well, that's not a party.
They're all...
Yeah.
3 seconds.
I know it.
Brian was going to say what it is.
The title character doesn't appear in the play.
You are absolutely right. Plays in which the title character does not appear. Can you tell me the authors?
Edward Albee, Abigail's Parties, Mike Wee, Waiting for Godot, Samuel Beckett, I Don't Know, Life of Riley.
Alan Ayckbourn. All plays in which the title character doesn't appear. Well done. Over to you, educators, to choose a question.
Can we have Twisted Flax, please?
I don't see why not. What is the connection here? Your time starts now.
Next. Cheers.
What's in compound?
No idea. Next.
It must be an element that makes them one of the
Yes, it's saltpetre and compound, wasn't it? But I don't know anything more than
common
that.
scientists. You do.
No idea. Should we go for next? Next, please. Marking territory.
10
Is it
seconds.
something to do with pheromones? Because pheromones are used in marking territory. I'm
they're
not
not
sure.
anything.
It's got to take it already.
3 seconds.
They all contain urine or use urine.
You're absolutely right. That's the kind of one that would have been really awkward if it was wrong, wouldn't it? And I'd have said, how do your minds work? But no, all uses for urine. Yes, urine was put into mouthwash and toothpaste until the 18th century for its lovely strong flavour. And in Rome, urine was so valuable as a substance, it was taxed by Emperor Nero. No doubt that's given some ideas to the coalition. By the time the show finishes, we'll be paying every time. Uses for urine, correct. Back to you, Wordsmiths, to pick a question.
2 reeds, please.
2 reads. What's the connection here? Time starts now.
Reeds with pipe. Oh,
With the gas paintings. Yeah. Next.
the next, please.
Straw Hat. Or is it Van Gogh?
No, yeah, it could be Van Gogh.
Take the next.
Take the next one.
I think it's Van Gogh.
The next one, please. Is it Dr. Gautier? Is it not paintings of Dr. Gautier?
Van Gogh, yeah.
Just the other.
Happy if you want to go.
10 seconds.
Paintings of Dr. Gautier by Van Gogh.
Paintings by Van Gogh.
Have one more go.
Paintings by Van Gogh. Of the Doctor.
Come on, you've seen this show before. I'm afraid I can't accept it. So I'm going to show the 4th clue to the educators for a possible bonus.
They're self-portraits by Van Gogh.
Self-portraits by Van Gogh. I was tempted. I gave you another go just to see if you could get it precisely, but no, bonus points to the educators. With pipe, with straw hat, without beard, with bandaged ear. Not to be confused with self-portrait with pipe and straw hat, nor self-portrait with straw hat and pipe. He really loved to ring the changes. Bonus point to you, educators, for that. And which question would you like?
Go for lion.
Lion. Ah, the music question. I'm sure your opponents will be relieved they didn't get it themselves. There's always the risk at something after 1970. What's the connection between these audio clues? Here's the first.
These are
Next.
You know when that shark bites with his teeth bared, scarlet billows start to spread.
yeah.
Fancy.
What's a catalyst you turned out to be? Loaded the guns and you run
What's the song called,
for
though?
your team.
10
Left me
seconds.
standing like a guilty scoreboard.
Next.
3 seconds.
They all feature weapons in the title of the song.
You look so nervous, but they do all feature weapons in the titles of the song. What did you recognise?
Number 2 was Mac the Knife, and the last one was Grenade by Bruno Mars.
That's right.
I didn't get the other 2.
I might ask the Wordsmiths, because we did hear something there from after 1970. Did you recognise it?
Eaton Rifles.
Eaton Rifles by the Jam, and the first one was the Commodore's Machine Gun. All contain weapons in the titles. Very well done. Wordsmiths, there is one question left. It's water.
We'll have water then, please.
I think you should. What is the connection? Time starts now.
It sounds like a mnemonic of some kind, doesn't
Next, please.
it? Cows eat grass.
How you tune different musical instruments. What's it?
Do you want to find out one?
Fancy the next one? Do you want to just take it?
Take it. Or it's up to you.
The mnemonics for tuning different musical instruments.
I'll take it. They're musical mnemonics. Coming in after 2 clues, I'll give you 3 points. The second and 4th clues are actually spaces on a bass clef and notes on a treble clef, but they are musical mnemonics. Very well done. You get the points. So at the end of round 1, the educators have got 3 points, but the Wordsmiths are ahead with 5. Round 2, sequences. This time you must work out the connection together, but tell me what comes fourth in a sequence. You may only see a maximum of 3 clues before giving me the answer. Educators, you'll be going first again. Which hieroglyph takes your fancy?
We'll go for 2 reads, please.
OK. What do you think will be the fourth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Anything can there.
Yeah, okay.
Next.
Things that...
What's the sequence?
No, yeah, but if you can... Colours, red and yellow. Red and yellow, and then red, yellow, blue and grey. Try to
Next. Hold on. Something with 4 rings. Because Audi's got...
Yeah.
Oh, no.
10 seconds.
Olympic flag.
I'll give you the points. Why will I give you the points?
Olympic flag's got 5 rings, Audi's got 4, Rubik's Magic's 3, and the MasterCard was 2. Number of rings.
That is it. It's to do with overlapping rings or circles. I wanted to hear something that had 5, and the Olympic flag would be a good example. Well done. Over to you then, Wordsmiths.
The Eye of Horus, please.
OK, I want to do the same thing. What is fourth in the sequence? Here's the first.
7. Where's the 13?
Next, please.
13 to 8. No, it looks like filling out. It doesn't make sense with the first one. The next one.
And the next, please.
5.
What can I just do this? Fibonacci, 5 to 3.
7,000 though. Why is it 5,000?
10 seconds.
5 to 3. 5 to 3.
5 to 3, but... Too easy, isn't it?
5, 2 arrows, 3.
I'm afraid that is not the answer, so there's a bonus chance for the educators.
It's 5, 2 arrows, 4.
It is 5, 4. Why is that?
The second number is the number of letters in the first number.
Yeah.
That's absolutely right. It is one of those spiky little only connect questions, harder than aged pecorino cheese. If you wrote out the first number, the number of letters in it will be represented by the second number, and the number of letters in the word 5, 4. Well spotted, educators, and as a reward, I'll allow you to choose a question.
Can we have twisted flax, please?
Absolutely. What is the fourth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Next. Is it there? Is it the ranking? George CSI? Maybe CSI.
No.
Yeah, but who was the...
So who's the last one in the sequence?
Next.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly CSI, so it's got to be one. Who was the head?
I don't know. No idea. That's what it is, though, isn't it? We've got no idea.
Yeah, it is. So what's his name?
We don't
The
know.
guy
10
who
seconds.
there with the...
We don't watch it.
I've done watch it. I'll be honest with you. Let's guess.
3 seconds.
Go with a game of odds. 1 is Jones.
That is not the answer. But the wordsmiths may know, and if they do, they'll get a bonus point.
1 Gagarin.
That's correct. Why?
They're the first people to go up in rockets. Not necessarily into space, because...
Yeah, it's space.
Well,
It's blended.
yeah.
It is actually the first 4 men in space. I only wanted to know the fourth, which is the first. So the fourth man in space, Titov Grissom next. Shepard would be the second, and first man in space, Gagarin. Well done to you then, wordsmiths, and it's your turn to pick a question.
Horned Viper, please.
OK, what's the fourth in this sequence? I can tell you they're going to be picture clues. What would you expect to see in the fourth picture? The first picture is an excellent one. Here it is.
Eyes. Next, please. No, that's in sequence.
Till death us do part. This is not in the wedding, in the marriage. For richer, for poorer, for
better, for worse.
No, keep going.
Do part.
Yeah, till death us do part. Go on.
No, well, that was just
10 seconds.
No,
That's the thing.
Keep going.
For till death us do part.
A picture from the Till Death Us Do Part.
That is exactly what we showed. Why is that?
It's the marriage vows.
It's the Church of England marriage service. So first, that excellent memoir, For Richer, for Poorer, still available somewhere. I don't know where, not bookshops. Might find one down the back of my sofa. In Sickness and in Health. The trick here is that the programme Till Death Us Do Part was made first, but we showed the sequel in Sickness and in Health, To Love and to Cherish, and then Till Death Us Do Part would be next in the marriage vows. Very well done. Are you married yourselves, any of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
We'll give you some tips.
I'm delighted to see that you remember the vowels. Excellent. Educators, it's your turn.
We'll go for water, please.
OK, what's the fourth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Next.
Process of making beer or ale.
Is it beer or ale? Is it whiskey?
I don't know, you want to do this. Barley.
Should we go for next? Let's see what it is. Or should we go?
Do you want to go for next or do you just want to go for that?
I'll go next. Play safe. Next.
Okay. So it's got to be barley or...
Which one? Which one?
I don't know, it's entirely up to
Barley
you.
or hops? Hops. OK, yeah. I'm going to go with hops.
Not the answer, I'm afraid. Wordsmiths, there's a bonus chance.
Is it mash?
That's not it either. You're closer, you're in the right area. It's to do with beer, and the answer is beer. These are the 4 stages in the brewing process. Grain, then malt, then wort, and after that you get beer. Ooh, makes me a bit thirsty just thinking about it. I might just have a little sip from my hip flask while you get on with the last question there, Wordsmiths. Lion is what it is. What's the fourth in this sequence? Here's the first.
These may be capitals on the Danube. Could be, yeah.
Next, please.
Yes, capitals on the Danube. Vienna. And then... and then... I can't remember which one. Yeah, to the next one.
The next, please.
Then it's Vienna, yeah.
Vienna.
Yes, it is. And why is that?
Capitals on the Danube, travelling west.
Upstream.
Travelling upstream. Capital cities on the Danube going upstream. Very well done. That brings us to the end of round 2, where the educators have got 6 points. The Wordsmiths are ahead with 11. Time for round 3, the connecting wall. 16 clues which must be sorted into 4 connected groups of 4. Points for finding the groups, points for the connections, all are available to the teams. And if you're easily bored, why not play along at the same time? At home, you'll find the connecting walls on the website. Why not? I know I'll be making phone calls. Wordsmiths, your turn to go first this time, and I'm going to give you a choice. Lion or water?
Lion, please.
OK, you've got 2.5 minutes to solve the lion wall, starting now.
Showing his hats.
Gilda's currency. Or hats.
Who's Toolaz?
Punt and Dennis are comedians.
Toolaz are currency.
Who's
Mark is currency. And shilling.
Right, try those.
the currencies. Mark could easily be something else, so why don't we try? Do we have another currency? Punt. Try Gilda.
Laura Shaven's a comedian as well.
Try punt to Gilda showing.
Punt's I'll try the fella.
Do that.
Right, okay.
25 combinations then. Well done. Right.
Smear pen.
Smear campaign, fundraising campaign, PR campaign, military campaign, how's that?
Yeah. Military, smear, fundraising,
PR.
Well done.
Okay.
Just 3 attempts now.
Right, so Holmes is on the Now Show, Mitch Benn, Laura Shaven, Hugh Dennis. So we've got that, and it's just working out with the other ones there.
Ishihara, Mantu, Wasserman and Showing.
Are they all hat makers?
Could be.
Because I've never heard any of this.
Don't know. Ishihara sounds Japanese, sounds like a designer.
Designer.
I think we might need to go for that, because I don't know what they are.
They all are, just have to have a guess at it.
You've got a minute left.
Is there anything else? Could they just be wider fashion designers? Ishihara sounds Japanese, so why would you be going with Wasserman? Sounds like design.
Go for designers and then like
and see if we ask for more specific.
Holmes and Ben.
That's it, you've solved the wall. Very well done. So you're going to get 4 points right away for finding the 4 groups. More points available for the connections. What about that first blue group?
They're all currencies.
Absorbed into the euro, I think.
Former
Replaced by the
currencies
euro.
that were the euro.
It's an even better answer. Currencies that stopped when the euro came in. Next one, smear, PR or pr. Fundraising, military.
Campaigns.
They can be followed by campaign. Third group, Ben, Shavin, Holmes, Dennis.
The Now Show.
They are on the Now Show. Can you tell me their first names?
Mitch
Ben, Laura Shaven, John Holmes.
And Hugh Dennis.
And the great Hugh Dennis, absolutely. They appear on Radio 4's The Now Show. And the last one, Wasserman Isihara Shilling Mantu.
Shilling is definitely a hat maker, so can we try clothes designers and then go for hat makers as a...
Do you know what? I'll let you throw both answers at me because they're as incorrect as each other. They are medical tests. Yes. Don't know
Ishihara, it's colour blindness, isn't it?
It is colour blindness. It's the dots on the screen. You don't know the Wasserman test?
No.
Well, you've obviously been living right. It's for syphilis. And we've also got up there the Shilling test. I think he is a hat designer, but this is to do with vitamin B12 absorption. And Mantu is a test for TB. Medical tests. You found 4 groups and you got 3 connections. That's a total of 7 points. Well done. Time to bring back the educators and give them a fresh connecting wall. See if they can solve it by sorting it into 4 connected groups of 4. Hello again, educators. You're going to get the water wall. You've got 2.5 minutes to solve it. Starting now.
Okay.
Tiananmen Square, St Peter's Square, Trafalgar Square, Winchester Square. Ah, there must be another square. Is Armistice Square? Right, you keep thinking, I'll work through these.
Able lady, pink lady.
That's not those. Pink lady, pink... Oak apple, what's that? That's an acorn, isn't it? It's another name for something.
Yeah. There's people who've got other...
Raised by... Remus Raver, Abel, was he... No.
Pink Armistice.
There's got to be another square. Is that a square?
Yeah, try that.
Right, I'm going to keep working with squares.
Is Wenceslas definitely a square?
Yeah, it's definitely a square.
Okay, try...
Not squares?
No. Okay.
Oh, I've got an absolute idea.
Canaan, Romulus and Remus. People who've got other people attached to them, maybe?
Twins, what's the pairs? So Cain and Abel, Romulus and Remus.
Yeah.
Was Pinko.
Try it.
And we need one more. No.
About halfway through the time.
Oak apple is definitely the name for an acorn. It's called an oak apple.
What about attack poodle then?
Armistice Day.
Towards something else.
Think a bit more, less, obviously, and a little bit more laterally.
It's got to be squares. There's got to be a square in here.
You're sure definitely those 3 are definitely...
Yeah.
And not Trafalgar, because you've done that already.
Done that already.
Yeah.
Okay, so leave Wenceslas out.
Was Armistice a square?
I don't know.
No.
But if you're...
I've got no idea now.
Monuments to people...
Should we move on to something else?
Yeah, I think so. Don't take too long on that.
Pinko. No, I don't. Was King Hamlet, did he have a famous brother?
He had
a brother?
A brother.
No.
Got 30 seconds now.
Yes.
Oh no.
I've got absolutely no idea. Attack poodle, what's that? King...
We'll just have that one.
Yeah.
Called something else.
Dogs or something, I don't know.
Because aren't...
10 seconds.
And... No.
And your time is up. Bamboozled by the wall.
Yes.
Stumped.
Not to worry, though, because you can still get points for the connections in the groups you didn't find. So, let's resolve the wall. There we go.
Yes.
Red, Tiananmen, Tahrir, St Peter's.
They're famous squares.
They
Red
are
square,
the
didn't you see it?
squares. Yeah, there's a square you kept putting in that isn't in that group, and some ones you missed. Squares is the connection. Oak apple, Armistice, Lady, Trafalgar.
No idea. Days, like Armistice Day, Ladies' Day.
They are days.
Are they?
That's absolutely right. Yes. And the next one, Remus, Wenceslas, King Hamlet, Abel.
They're famous brothers. They had famous brothers, Romulus and Remus, Cain and Abel, or brothers or...
Give me a little bit more.
Twins? Twin brothers?
No, they're not. I'll take it because they do all have famous or evil brothers. In fact, they were all killed by their brothers, is what I really wanted to hear. But famous brothers, I suppose so, because the villains of the piece are their well-known brothers. And the last group, Pinko, Lefty, Attack Poodle, Wet.
I've got no idea.
Totally what threw us, yeah.
I can't give you too long.
No.
They're just political epithets. Derogatory political epithets. Attack Poodle is someone that's ultimately a bit servile, wet,
Yeah.
Tory with liberal tendencies, lefty, obvious pinko, bit red.
Yeah.
They are political epithets. So you found no groups, unfortunately, but you did find 3 connections, so you get 3 points.
That's redeeming.
Let's have a look at the scores. The Educators are up to 9 points, but the Wordsmiths are ahead with 18. And if you want to play more Connecting Walls, you'll find them on the website, where you can even write your own. Have you played Connecting Walls on the website?
Lots. on the big boards at school.
And do you normally find a couple of groups?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, normally. Normally get at least 1 or 2.
Thanks for asking.
Do you think we gave you a really hard wall, or is it the tension of the studio?
That was particularly hard, I think.
OK, missing vowels. We've taken well-known names, phrases or sayings. We've removed the vowels and squidged up the consonants. Teams, I want to know, what are those disguised words? Fingers on buzzers. The first group are all bedclothes. Educators?
Patchwork quilt.
Correct. Educators?
Eider down.
Yes. Wordsmiths?
Centre pane.
I'm afraid you lose a point. Educators, do you know it? No, it's counterpane. Next clue. Wordsmiths?
Electric blanket.
Correct. Next category, careers that Barbie has tried. Educators?
Concert pianist.
Yes. Wordsmiths?
Fashion designer.
I'm afraid you lose a point. Educators, do you know it? Too long. Fashion editor. Next clue. Educators?
Paleontologist.
That's the obvious one. Next clue. Educators?
Aerobics instructor.
That's right. Next category, architectural features. No, this is a tough one. Entablature. Next clue. Wordsmiths?
Logia.
Yeah, I'd pronounce it logia, but you got the consonants right. Correct. Next clue. Wordsmiths?
Ogive.
Or ogive. Correct. Next clue. Don't know this one. Quatrefoil or quarterfoil. Next category, Eurovision-winning acts. Educators?
Dana International.
Correct. Educators?
Lulu.
Correct. Educators, no! Because that's the end of the quiz. Did you know it?
Lordy.
Lordi from Finland. Never heard of them. After 1970, I'm afraid, so no good for you. At the end of the quiz, then, the Educators have got an excellent 16 points, but the Wordsmiths are ahead with 19. That means, Wordsmiths, you are through to the quarterfinals. Very well done. And Educators, what a shame. A spirited performance from you. I'm afraid it's goodbye. And that's it from Only Connect tonight. We'll be back next week. But if you want to vote for your favourite contestant between now and then, you really haven't been paying attention. Goodbye.
Alistair Sooke is charting the decline and fall of the Roman Empire here on BBC4 in just a moment, as he uncovers some glorious mosaics never before filmed in Libya. The final part of Treasures of Ancient Rome is coming up next. And tomorrow we're packing up, going on holiday and getting away from it all, with part 2 of British Passions on film at 8:30.